Long before telescopes swept across the sky, before astronomers charted constellations and civilizations drew maps of the heavens, a crimson star pulsed near the shoulder of Orion. Even to ancient eyes, this one was different. It shimmered. It breathed. It lived. Today, we call it Betelgeuse, though many know it by its mischievous-sounding modern nickname, Betelgeuse. Perched 500 to 700 light-years away, depending on which measurement you trust, the star is a swollen, burning titan, more elder than any world humanity has ever touched. If our sun is a warm, steady hearthfire, Betelgeuse is a furnace in its final flare, a red supergiant nearing the end of its life. But giants do not go quietly, and in late 2019, the cosmos proved this truth in spectacular fashion. For a moment, it seemed as if Betelgeuse's ancient heart stumbled. And the world took notice. In December 2019, the people who watched the sky the most, astronomers, hobbyists, night owls, began whispering the same unsettling question. Is Betelgeuse fading? For a star that normally burns among the 10 brightest in the sky, any change is noteworthy. But this dimming wasn't subtle. It wasn't slow. It was dramatic, visible even to the naked eye. The great red shoulder of Orion wasn't glowing the way it always had. It looked weaker, sickly, almost wounded. For the first time in modern history, humanity collectively wondered. Is Betelgeuse beginning to die? A supernova, an actual star exploding, was on everyone's lips. Headlines declared the end of a cosmic era. Forums buzzed with panic and hope. Some imagined a second sun blazing in the daytime sky. Others feared radiation storms and extinction-level dangers. And above the noise, the star itself continued to dim, quietly, mysteriously. As if holding its breath. To understand why the dimming of Betelgeuse shook the world, you need to understand the kind of star it is. Betelgeuse is enormous, so large that if you dropped it into our solar system, it would swallow Mercury, Venus, Earth, and likely Mars. Its radius stretches hundreds of times wider than the Sun. Its surface seethes and boils like a living sea of fire. It is unstable, unpredictable, and nearing the end of a life measured not in billions, but in mere millions of years. It is, quite simply, a ticking nuclear clock. But nobody knows what time is left on that clock. That uncertainty gives Betelgeuse an almost mythic quality. It has worn many names. Betelgeuse, the ancient Arabic house of Orion. Betelgeuse, another early Arabic variation. The Japanese Hishiibashi. The Indian Ardra Nakshatra. And in modern pop culture, of course, Betelgeuse, immortalized by a movie that had nothing to do with the star, and yet, oddly, fits its chaotic personality. Across cultures and time, one idea has remained constant. This star is a character. Unstable, fiery, swollen, and unpredictable, Betelgeuse behaves like a cosmic actor who refuses to stick to the script. That's why the dimming felt personal. It felt like a signal. A chapter shift. But the universe rarely reveals its plot twists immediately. As the dimming deepened through early 2020, anticipation surged. Was this the opening act of a supernova? Was Betelgeuse truly staggering toward its end? Scientists scrambled. Telescopes pivoted. Satellites awakened. Across the world, instruments old and new were suddenly united in a single mission. Understand what was happening to Betelgeuse. Among the most important tools was NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, still sharp-eyed despite its age. Hubble had been examining Betelgeuse months before the dimming began, capturing ultraviolet signatures from its surface. Those ultraviolet views revealed something startling: a massive outflow of material had erupted from part of the star. Not a solar flare. Not a typical coronal mass ejection. This was bigger, far bigger. A surface mass ejection so powerful that a chunk of Betelgeuse's outer layers, comparable in mass to several Earths, was hurled into space. As that expelled material drifted away, it cooled. As it cooled, it condensed. As it condensed, it thickened into dust. And that dust cloud, drifting between us and the star, formed a temporary cosmic veil. The Great Dimming was a shadow. Betelgeuse hadn't died, that it had coughed. A violent, ancient, fiery cough, one strong enough to fling part of itself outward into the dark. To fully appreciate the 2019 event, you have to step inside Betelgeuse's world. Red supergiants don't behave like normal stars. They are vast, unstable, and constantly convulsing. Their surfaces churn with hot gas bubbles so large they could engulf Earth several times over. Their brightness waxes and wanes in slow, irregular cycles as internal layers shift and burn. Betelgeuse's heartbeat is irregular, its breath is uneven, its skin, if you can call it that, cracks and ripples like molten dunes. The 2019 expulsion wasn't just a hiccup, it was a rupture. A piece of the star's outer shell detached and drifted off, leaving its surface temporarily disfigured and its energy output uneven. Imagine a giant exhaling with such force that part of its lung tears free and floats into the sky. That is what Betelgeuse did. And then, like any living thing, it needed time to heal. Hubble's data suggested the surface slumped, cooled, and slowly reshaped itself. Betelgeuse was bruised, but recovering. The dimming wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the sign of a star struggling through the last acts of its long cosmic life. But this only deepened the mystery. If Betelgeuse can cough out pieces of itself, how close is it to the final explosion? The truth, as storytellers hate to admit but scientists insist upon, is simple. We don't know when. Betelgeuse could go supernova in 100,000 years. 10,000 years. 1,000 years. Next week. Or even tonight. Or it might quietly keep swelling, shrinking, boiling, and burping for a long time yet. That's the frustrating beauty of it. We are watching something ancient die, but we don't know where we are in the chapter. Are we at the beginning of the final page? Or still halfway through the book? The star knows, but it isn't telling. And yet, science can reveal what the end will look like when it comes. When Betelgeuse finally collapses, and it will, the event will remake our sky. For a brief window of cosmic time, Betelgeuse will shine brighter than the full moon. It may even rival the sun itself in daytime visibility. Night will never be truly dark. Shadows will appear where shadows don't belong, landscapes will glow beneath a phantom second sun, cultures across the world will witness a sight no human has ever seen in recorded history. The supernova will release more energy in a moment than our sun will emit in its entire lifetime. But despite its ferocity, Earth is safe. We live too far away, hundreds of light years beyond the danger zone. The radiation that could threaten life doesn't reach this far. The neutrinos will slip harmlessly through us. The expanding shell of debris will take tens of thousands of years to disperse, and by then, it will be nothing but a distant nebula. When Betelgeuse dies, it will be spectacular, but not deadly. We will be witnesses, not victims. Part of what makes Betelgeuse so enchanting is how many identities it has worn. To the ancient Arabs, it marked the hand or shoulder of a giant. To the Greek storytellers, it glittered above the hunter Orion as he stalked the heavens. To the Japanese, it was a red jewel marking seasonal cycles. To India, it belonged to the Ardra Nakshatra, associated with storm gods and cleansing destruction. To modern astronomers, it is Alpha Orionis, swollen, unstable, spectacularly flawed. To casual stargazers, it is simply that big red star you can't help but look at. And to pop culture fans, Betelgeuse is something else entirely, yet somehow fitting, because like the movie character, the star barges into the narrative when it wants to, steals the spotlight, and refuses to behave. Betelgeuse is a cosmic trickster. A drama king. A dying titan. A legend written in fusion and flame. And its story is not over. After the Great Dimming, Betelgeuse gradually brightened again. By mid-2020, its glow had nearly returned to normal. It wasn't dying. It wasn't collapsing. It was simply reshaping itself after an immense convulsion. Scientists were humbled, the public was captivated. Even now, the star's behavior continues to be monitored with a mixture of excitement and concern. Because someday, the dimming won't end. One day, the great crimson spark will flare, a final breath, a flash that will outshine worlds, and then fade into memory. The light of its death will travel across space for centuries, and reach us long after the actual star is gone. We will witness an obituary written in photons. And yet, as long as Betelgeuse still burns in our sky, we are in the presence of a cosmic elder nearing its final bow. We are incredibly lucky. Humanity exists at the exact moment in history when Betelgeuse is unstable enough to fascinate us, but not yet gone. We get to watch a dying giant in real time, its mood swings, its tempests, its shivers, its scars. The great dimming of 2019 wasn't the end. It was a warning, a whisper, a reminder that even stars, those symbols of permanence, live fragile, violent lives. And Betelgeuse, our capricious Betelgeuse, is living its final chapters with style. Whether it explodes in our lifetime or thousands of years after our voices fade, one truth remains. So the next time you step outside on a crisp winter night, look to the right shoulder of Orion, find that warm, flickering ember among the cold blue stars. That is Betelgeuse, a titan, a legend, a star with a temper, and a destiny. And one day, whether tomorrow or in a distant age, it will write its final sentence across the sky. A sentence made not of words, but of light.